Water, the element of life. Without functional systems of water flow, there are no habitats. Today we know that interference with a river system can have serious consequences. Construction activities in the vicinity of the River Mur have permanently degraded the hydrology of the area. A new package of projects is designed to work against this trend. Over 100 years ago, the Mur, the largest river in Styria, was up to 1,200 meters wide, including all its channels. Since then, the huge, wild flow has been tamed. And yet, the many hydraulic engineering measures of the past have not brought gains alone to the agriculture and inhabitants of the surrounding areas. Today, it is still a priority to protect valuable land through hydraulic engineering measures. But in addition, there is a duty to recognize issues of conservation and tourism. And ultimately, it is about getting water back into the landscape. The original course of the Mur has been altered radically over the last 125 years. Today, the river is on average only 76 meters wide. Indeed, the measures for controlling the Mur, shown here in a sketch from the time of the monarchy, present problems. Measures for shortening the course, narrowing or securing the riverbed raise the speed of flow. As a result, the riverbed becomes ever deeper and the groundwater level sinks. Neighboring ancient branches of the course are cut off and important habitats are lost. So the goal has to be a new networking of the wetlands all around the Mur. As part of the Lower Murvalley Nature Reserve project, over the past 5 years, the Mur has been widened along an 1,800-metre stretch. 18 hectares of dynamic river and alluvial forest have been created. 45 kilometres of adjoining streams have been reactivated or extended. In the district of Oberschwarza, part of the municipality of Murfeld, a 270-metre-long parallel channel was constructed, allowing the Mur to be widened a little. A narrow island was left between the channel and the Mur, while the banks were restructured and given contrasting appearance. Widening like this is an important prerequisite for reconnection of the Mur with drainage of the land around it. The expansion of the riverbed has immediately brought new life to the delightful landscape of nature, community and recreation along the Mur. In Weitersfeld, a 300-metre-long parallel channel was constructed along the Mur. This resulted in an island subdivided by 2 gullies, yielding ecologically valuable environments. In Gorsdorf, the Mur can once again form natural riverbed structures along a length of 1 kilometre and a width of 150 metres. As a result of laying a parallel channel and depositing 150,000 cubic metres of excavation material, there are now ideal conditions for the development of a natural environment of watercourses, banks and alluvial forest. Scientific tests are carried out alongside the introduction of rubble with a view to structuring and stabilizing the riverbed. Using special transmitters, it is possible to determine exactly how the gravel is distributed over the riverbed. Information like this is very important for properly managed widening activities. The parallel channel to the moor that has been laid here guarantees that fish can once again swim back upstream into the brooks. The River Mur is Austria's second richest in fish species after the Danube. Altogether, some €4.4 million are to be invested in the Lower Murvalley Nature Reserve project. Of this, 1.9 million come from the European Union. Going upstream from the new bicycle route bridge at Donnersdorf, the moor has been widened along a 230-metre stretch. Here too the intention is that the river should offer an environment in which natural features can develop as a result of stabilising the riverbed and groundwater conditions. A new breeding ground for the fish has thus become accessible, and an even more attractive area for people to enjoy. Signs display information about the Lower Murvalley Nature Reserve project. More space for the moor. This objective is just as much in the interests of tourism as those of conservation and the protection of valuable land. Bad Radkersburg is well known far and wide as a spa town and thus as a magnet for tourists. Here, as part of hydraulic engineering maintenance, the banks of the moor have been given attractive features and 5 water arenas have been laid out with pedestrian access. The moor as an experience of nature. Localized widening and a diversified layout of the banks have made the adjoining environment very attractive. From here, one can now look directly onto the bank on the Slovenian side. It was as a result of flow control measures and a power station construction that the mill stream at Straßlichendorf no longer received water from the moor. Now, thanks to a dotation installation, water is again flowing at 500 litres per second into the 10-kilometre long stream, and groundwater conditions have consequently improved significantly. The dotation of drained brooks is an excellent means for safeguarding the environment in and around the watercourse and recreating a cultural landscape that is close to natural, and offers the best possible conditions for a good quality of life. The 24-kilometre-long mill stream between Murek and Bad Radkersburg was scarcely receiving any water as a result of the downward erosion of the moor. It was therefore extended by about a kilometre further up the moor and given a form that mimicked natural floodplain streams. Now it is receiving 3 cubic metres of water per second, as before. This area, with its impressive variety of birds and fish, belongs to the Natura 2000 network, which includes outstanding nature protection areas throughout Europe. This has the objective of preventing the extinction of species. Species of animal and plant living in the wild and their natural habitats should be preserved in all their diversity. The Weschbach, a stream running for almost 3 kilometers through the municipalities of Halbenrhein and Radkersburg, was in very poor condition. Insufficient water flow was leading to fouling, making the stream black. Now, everything is all right again. Ever since a new drainage facility was constructed, 300 litres of water per second have been flowing here again. An ecologically precious recreation area has been reactivated. Renaturation measures have also served to stabilise the area's groundwater equilibrium. Areas of cultivation can be irrigated once more. The site of Sassbach. Some time ago, this stream had been excavated in the form of a straight-section trapezoidal gully. Yet in the municipality of Eichfeld, old brooks had been preserved in the alluvial forest. These were connected to a continuous side gully. The result is the recreation of a section of natural Sassbach. Now it meanders along in the way that is typical for an untouched Grabenland stream. The renaturation measures on the Sassbach allowed ideal conditions to be created for people, animals and plants. And this is a principal goal of the Lower Murvalley Nature Reserve project. Several other projects on the Lower Murvalley created new habitat and improved ecological conditions. For example, hydraulic engineering measures in the area of St. Peter am Ottersbach delivered better water retention for the landscape. In Perbersdorf, the Weinburg ponds were created, again yielding new habitats. All interventions along the Lower Murvalley are partly financed by the municipalities and the population. They were realized in and by the region, and financed to a significant extent by the EU, along with the Republic and the province of Styria. To the south of Ratschendorf, nestling in the woodland surrounding the Glauningbach stream, the original meandering course of the stream was maintained as a ditch. The original bed of the stream was reactivated for the sake of the Glauningbach, thereby doubling the course of this section to 400 meters. Deep sections were also excavated in the stream bed so that, during low water conditions, creatures living here would still have a place of retreat in the form of a succession of pools. The Glauningbach stream now flows through, along a meandering course with the steeply undercut outer and flat inner banks typical of an untouched Gardenland stream. Very worthwhile renaturation work has also been carried out in the area of Gnasbach-Feilbach. The total investment for all these so-called minor measures in the Lower Murvalley came to almost €240,000. Hydraulic engineering, conservation and tourism are in harmony here. And the frequently posed question, what does the EU do for us, can be readily answered by reference to the 40% finance share in the project. On the outskirts of Halbenrhein, to the south of the main road to Radkersburg, the mill stream was redirected via a brook that was flowing nearby, so that fish in this section could pass through. The hydraulic engineering works near to the now disused and so-called Ruppmühle mill came at a total cost of almost €110,000. The EU, the Wasserwirtschaft Water Authority of the Republic and the province of Styria, and the 11 municipalities of the Radkersburg District Water Board all shared the costs of this important project. the south of the Liebmannsee Lake flows the Trümmerbach Brook, a heavily silted backwater of the moor. Large numbers of pools in the alluvial forest offer valuable habitat for the amphibians and native bird species particularly worthy of protection. Thanks to a targeted package of measures, this Natura 2000 conservation area has a good supply of water once again. Here, in the second largest continuous expanse of alluvial forest in Austria, even just modest levels of high water are sufficient to supply the brook from the Sulzbach stream. Amongst other activities forming part of the Lower Murvalley Nature Reserve project was the construction of additional bodies of standing water. Here, amphibians can take shelter for the winter. At the time of its entry to the EU, Austria committed itself to nature conservation measures. The alluvial forest along the Styrian Moor, partly the border with Slovenia, is one of those outstanding areas worthy of special measures to maintain ecological diversity. The border area between Austria and Slovenia, running near the moor, is also of particular significance in relation to the politics of integration. Projects in the border area receive support through the INTERREG Community Initiative put in place by the EU in 1990. The Lower Murvalley Nature Reserve is one of these. The reactivation of the Trümmerbach Brook network stretches out over a total of 5.3 kilometers. The total cost was €84,000, which was shared between the EU and the Styrian Conservation Authority. The result is inviting, multifaceted natural scenery without parallel. All of the measures for the Lower Murvalley Nature Reserve are the result of comprehensive planning activities covering flood protection and conservation. Once implemented, they serve both ecology and tourism. An important principle here is that the measures be presented to the public in a clear and open way, in order to make the moor experience of both old and new appeal to as many people as possible. The measures should also bring the people of Austria and Slovenia closer together. To this end, a pan-European invited competition for architecture and landscape design has been arranged by Bad Radkersburg and Gornja Radgona. Another such partnership project is entitled Antenna Riverscape. 10 antennae, locations with information pillars, offer information about the dynamic relationship between man and the environment. Living by the moor has always touched that area of conflict between nature and culture. The untamed river carved out the landscape shaped the people, and then the people shaped the landscape anew. Living by the moor compelled and still compels people to deal with the powers of nature correctly. Construction and destruction, soaring plans and floundering experiences. The story of life by this riverine artery also provides the content for an exhibition at the Museum of Bad Radkersburg. The course of the moor in the course of history. This is a story that could indeed fill many volumes. As in the past, so today, a valuable role is played by the wealth of fish in the moor. Running as it does, free and unhindered by power stations for 1,100 kilometers. But here we are talking about a new project, and one that is showing the way in a very real sense. In order to guarantee that migrations of fish upstream do not end at the walls of Spielfeld Power Station, as was until recently the case, a fish migration aid has been constructed. As a result, it is now possible for the fish to ascend from the moor to the Gamlitzbach stream. In order to ensure access through the stream, its bed had to be reconstructed. In addition, a 75-meter-long vertical slot fish passage was built with 15 pools along its length. Thus, the border at Spielfeld has been dissolved for the fish too, with the route upstream along the moor now free. Research has shown that the fish are indeed benefiting from this new freedom from borders. we have been shown the way to the future. The Lower Murvalley Nature Reserve project has been a complete success in every sense. Given that, the one and only conclusion is, carry on.